Hey folks, I'm your host BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. This is very generational. Amanda will not understand this. Several in the audience may not understand this, but I probably need one of those Merlin Olsen pick-me-up bouquets this morning. I'll explain later. There's a couple different ways we're going to go on this show today. Amanda, I want to thank Amanda. Amanda's working on the Florida story. I needed a little extra help this morning. I'm going to be doing something at 9 o'clock that I don't normally do. And there's a reason, and you will see if you stay tuned in. But at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a very personal story, and I don't do that very often. I don't get personal on the show. I try to stay away from that part. I try not to, get into some things. But occasionally it happens, and I'm going to be doing something very, very personal at 9 o'clock and sharing with the audience something that I hope you'll stick around for, and I'll tell you a little more about that as we go on. If you would like to, let me give you some of the things we're going to talk about today. If you would like to get involved in the show, 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700, or Chief, that's Chief at FetcherNews.com. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at FetcherNews, at FYNTV. On Twitter, find us on Facebook, FYNTV Facebook, all the above. A couple things we're going to talk about. Let me just give you a little rundown of the show this morning, and we are going to open up with the shooting, 17 dead in Florida, and I know Amanda's working on pictures and video, and we're going to discuss this. But I want to know today, what compromise will you accept, if any, on DACA? What compromise will you accept, if any, on DACA? They are on the floor, folks. I know we're talking about this tragedy in Florida at this school, but they're on the floor right now debating a DACA bill for the dreamers, not so-called dreamers. So where do you stand on that? Yesterday, I'm going to talk a little later, but yesterday noticed an article that was floated out that the president may be in favor of a 25-cent gas tax to pay for the infrastructure plan. What say you on a 25-cent gas tax, federal gas tax? That's going to be a lot of discussion there. And we're going to talk about, after this first half hour, we're going to talk about, we had a police officer in East Ellijay that was arrested by GBI yesterday. We're going to talk about that story. And we got several other things going on. Now, gun control, background checks. Now, Amanda, let me get through this, and then let's just open the discussion. And I don't even know where you're at on video or pictures, but you're gonna have the floor to whatever we want to do. But let me get through this. Obviously, the liberal media did not waste any time, okay? Never let a good tragedy go to waste, right? Never waste a crisis. So we have and if you have any pictures you want to put up while I'm doing a little opening monologue, feel free, okay? Because I don't know what you have. But we have 17 dead in Florida, several wounded. We have a kid that walked in, had been suspended or expelled. excuse me, had been expelled from school, walked in, murdered 17 people. And immediately the satellite trucks, okay? The satellite trucks have rushed down there. The satellite trucks with the news media have chased the children down the street to see which one would tell them anything, okay? I was in third period class with him 3 years ago and whatever. So they're doing all that now. Local officials are coming to the microphone. Now, before I go any further, could you please already understand that I'm not being insensitive about anything. I promise I'm not. But we rush, and this is where we are trained as the masses. We rush to the TV, and they set up all the microphones, and the governor comes up, and the sheriff comes up, and the coroner, and they put a whole list of people up there, and they do a long list of thank yous to first responders. Here we have a hero football coach that jumped in front of some kids, and I think he's fighting for his life. I don't know his status. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we sit on the edge of our seat waiting for these press conferences over and over, and we are here now. And we're going to analyze everything, and we're going to learn from this. And we've done this how many times? How many times? And we're here now, and they're going to put study groups together now, and they're going to there'll be some government funding in the budget to do a study group and to analyze all the things that happen there in Florida, what could prevent it next time. Now, stay with me on this. What can prevent it next time? And how do we stop these senseless murders? And they never hit on the problem. They never hit on the problem. Now, so I thought, okay, so I'll look around. We've already got Nancy Pelosi. We've got this one senator up in Connecticut. And I said, okay, how left will they go? How left will they take this? And I'm going to say something to you this morning that is going to take a little time. And I hope you don't get upset. So the left, let me tell you, Joe Scarborough comes out and he does an open monologue. Here we are again. Here we are again. 33,000 killed by guns every year. This is Joe Scarborough this morning, 6 o'clock. We said at Sandy Hook this would never happen again. Never again. 3 of the 10 deadliest shootings in the history of the United States have happened in the last 5 months. Now, this is Joe Scarborough. Good morning, Joe. 58,000 lost their lives in Vietnam, and I'm here to tell you between now and the end of next year, more than 58,000 will lose their lives in America due to gun violence. Yet Congress does nothing. So obviously, we're waiting for the government to solve all of our issues or all of our life's problems, okay? This is the quotes, okay? Yet Congress does nothing. The president does nothing to protect our children. Now, he didn't specifically say Donald J. Trump or the president, but he just was on a roll, and he's like, Congress does nothing, the president does nothing, nothing to protect our children, okay? Nothing to protect our children. 95%, watch this today, 95% want increased background checks. Now, that's all over the media, no matter where you're tuning in this morning. You got 95% of Americans want an increased background check. I'm going to tell you something that interestingly just happened, because although I do not like this person and do not accept that their TV show is valid in any way whatsoever, the truth came out. Every once in a while, the truth falls out and they can't put it back in the bag. So 95% want an increased background check. This is what you're going to hear. Joe Scarborough this morning, the NRA is only interested in gun sales. It's not the NRA of me, you and I when we were kids, okay? You don't need assault rifles to protect your home and go hunting. It's still on Morning Joe, just the madness must stop. The madness must stop, okay? We're going to talk about what happened in Congress. It's time. We're going to. We're going to have a real conversation. Now, let me tell you something. Because they are going so hard to the left, with, once again, it's time to have the conversation, and 95% of Americans want increased background check. Folks, Joy Behar, or whatever her name is, okay, identified Christianity as an illness. Now, every once in a while you say, well, BKP, you just, you're out there. She identified it as an illness. They made fun of it, okay? Now, if you think that they don't want your guns, and you don't think that the attack on Christianity in this world, and I'm not preaching this morning, but I'm going to tell you the bottom line, okay? Now, Joy Behar, whatever her name is, on this whacked out show, The View, made fun of your Vice President Mike Pence praying and then saying God talks to him. Now, I'm going somewhere. You always think this could never happen, because what you're doing now is you're wondering what that next big pack of microphones that the sheriff is going to come to a press release, and they're going to come up there, the governor and all the FBI, anybody and everybody's going to go up there and they're going to give a press release. And what have we found out? What do we know now? What would stop this from happening in the future? I'm just telling you. Government is going to sell you that they can fix the gun violence problem. Government's solution to gun violence, to end gun violence, is to take your gun. I know people don't like that. They say that's just screaming, take your gun. The government, oh no, we have no interest. Now, Nancy Pelosi and them, they'll find their Constitution, which mine is right here somewhere. I'm back on the juice. I don't know if you noticed. They'll find their Constitution. They'll argue about hunting rifles. But let me say this, all right? We are here now. Here we are again. When you go to register to vote, have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness? This is to vote, okay? This is to vote. You go register to vote, all right? Have you ever been identified as incompetent for any reason of any mental illness? This is the vote. When you go to register to vote, folks, okay, there's no discussion on, well, there is whether you're legal or not, but that last check in the box, look it up, see if I'm wrong, is have you ever been diagnosed as, any kind of mental illness? Because we can't have you damn crazy people voting, okay? Increased background checks. Increased. When you want to get a permit to carry a firearm and it requires a 10-minute psychiatric analysis or something, that the government mandates, and you ever get asked, what are your religious views? Have you ever talked to God? Do you hear voices? Have you ever heard any voices? You ever heard any voices tell you anything? You see, in Christianity, the belief is with a continual prayer life that God will speak to you and instruct you. You just take that one, you frame it up, and you watch what happens, okay, with background checks. Because here's the fact, folks. We talk about gun-free zones and schools being soft targets. I agree. We talk about that. We talk about all of these things around the issue, but we never talk about the actual breakdown of the traditional family unit and the moral decay in this country. It's never brought up. It will never be in any of their research they do to change the attitude, the hearts, and the minds of people. Social media, all right? Got kids 12 years old. They are on 20 different platforms of social media. It is scary out there, okay? This is going to be a reason for them to scan all social media, is what they're going to tell you, to get into your privacy. So you need a mental stability check to get your gun permit or get a gun, be able to obtain a gun. So God knows when they give you the examination, don't ever say you're a Christian, you spoke to God, and hell, whatever you do, don't say God told you to do anything, okay? Don't tell him you prayed to God about that last job and God said, I think you should take that job, because right then you get that person. You have Vice President of the United States had to come out and say, hey, Christianity's not a mental illness, but whether you believe me or not, Joy Behar let the truth out of the bag, and they can't get it back in. So, hey, what does that have to do with the Florida shooting? You got a 17-year-old kid walks into school. We're doing something right, and it sure as hell ain't the government, because I can't remember the last thing they did that worked out. Background checks. Okay, Amanda, do you have the video? Where do you want to go? Do you want to play the video first of the actual live event yesterday? Would you? All right, we're going to go ahead. This is the video of the live event yesterday that took place in this school. Warning, it's you may not want to hear it, so it's I'll just give you a warning before we play it. After that, we'll come back and go to break, and then Amanda and I are going to be discussing gun control, and we want you to get into the conversation. Let's go ahead and play that, Amanda.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Video that's gone all over the internet. And Amanda, before we go to break, do you have a brief thought on this? I mean, obviously, we're saddened. Our thoughts and prayers do go out to the families that are going through this horrific time. And the President of the United States has released a tweet, so many signs that the Florida shooter was mentally disturbed, even expelled from school for bad and erotic behavior. Neighbors and classmates knew he was a big problem, must always report such instances to authorities again and again. All right, so that was from the President of the United States. Just spoke to Governor Rick Scott. This was 16 hours ago. We are working closely with law enforcement on the terrible Florida school shooting. So what say you? Do you have an opening comment before we take the break and come back and frame a discussion on this?
I think the biggest thing, just from reading up on Nicholas Cruz, is his distress, just from world issues and media, and we're literally driving our youth insane. I can't say what I would do if I was in a school shooting, because we didn't even have cell phones when I was in school, but to me, for a kid to even have time with bullets flying everywhere, to be able to Snapchat the story, to me, it bewilders me.
All right, well, wait a minute. There's a couple things I want to come back on when you said we're actually absolutely driving our kids insane. All right, but you said that the fact that somebody through a shooting Snapchatted this. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's interesting, right?
It is. It's. I don't even know what to say about it. It's almost like you're just to get the media attention of it is more important than your life right now.
Folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Amanda and I will be back right after these messages. Amanda's been working on the story, keeping up with some things. And we will not be having Carla's Corner this morning. We would like for you to stick around at the 8:30 hour, but Carla will not be with us this morning. And we'll be back right after these messages. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
Folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. If you would like to contact the show, 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700, or Chief, you can email me, chief@fetchernews.com, chief at fetchernews.com. Follow us on Facebook. Find our Facebook page, fyntv.com, Fetcher News. Follow us on Twitter at fyntv, at Fetcher News. Yes, I am back on the juice, folks. I'm back on the juice. I've got 5 canisters of Spark here. I am on the juice. Back on it, all right? Now, before we go any further, at 9 o'clock, Carla's Corner will not be on today, but at 9 o'clock, it may bore you, but there's a reason, and I'll explain before we get there. I'm going to be telling a very personal story at 9 o'clock, and I want to share it with you. I'm just not like that. I don't really come here and do that. We're, too many deep family things or whatever. But at 9 o'clock, I want to share something with you, and we'll go over that in just a minute. Would you pay a 25-cent, all right? Would you pay a 25-cent gas tax, okay? Would you pay 25-cent gas tax, federal gas tax, to pay for the infrastructure bill, okay, that the President of the United States wants to put out? I asked if we needed gun control. We're talking about the senseless shooting in Florida. I said, do you think we need stronger background checks? And somebody wrote, no, we need parents. That's what somebody wrote. No, we need parents. What do you think? We've asked several questions this morning. Also, we want to know, what compromise will you accept, if any, on DACA? That's on the floor. Immigration fight is down to the wire. Okay? So I said just 2 days ago, interestingly, Joy Behar on the View, which not my words, these would be Amanda's, that has been identified as 4 cackling hens. And correct me if I got that wrong, Amanda. But that being said, she let the cat out of the bag when they tried to frame Christianity as a mental illness. I'm telling you. Everything is white supremacist. If you are white and you don't see it their way, you're a white supremacist. Christianity, they have a whole list. Now, the football coach, what is his name, Amanda? Do you have that? The assistant football coach? Supposedly, this guy is a lifelong... what's the name of this high school? Parkland? Is it Parkland High School? Where am I wrong? In Florida? It's 35 miles north of Miami. Okay, in Parkland, Florida. Okay, that's about 35 miles north. And this is the football coach that we have up? And he started there. I think he went to school there. The background story is, and he went to school. This guy went to school there. This is a real hero this morning, and he went to school there. Started, I think, as a janitor. Ends up assistant football coach. Are you reporting that he has died? Are you earlier this morning? Is that the report now that he did not make it?
An initial story was made 2 hours ago that he died a hero.
Okay. All right. So FBI was warned about this guy. Do you have this guy's picture? I got it on the actual shooter. What is his name? Do you have his picture?
Yes, the shooter is 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz.
19-year-old Nicholas Cruz. Did you say you had a video, one of the videos from a former a teacher?
Yes, I'll play that now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play that.
Jim Gard is a math teacher at the school, and he taught the shooting suspect, Nicholas Cruz, just last year. He joins us tonight. Mr. Gard, thanks for coming on.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Well, so you're the first person we've spoken to who knew the suspect personally. He was in your class. What was your view of him?
Well, I think I only had him for maybe a semester in 2000, like between August and December of 2016, when I can remember. I just was able to look at my computer. I have to look at it a little bit later on to be 100% sure. But, he was in class. He was real quiet. Nothing outstanding. I know we got a couple of emails, here or there from admin regarding it, but I'd have to get into my computer when I get home and take a look and see if those emails are anything significant that I can remember, because it's been over a year.
Well, let me put it this way. When you saw his face on television and read his name, did you think, I'm shocked by this? Or did you think, of the kids I teach, maybe this isn't the most surprising suspect?
Right. Actually, I haven't even seen his face on television yet. We were in lockdown and no TVs on or anything like that. And when I had heard the name from some of my students when we were in the lockdown, it hit me. It's like, oh, wow, I had Nick in class. And I was about to look him up, and then the police came and got us out of our room. So am I shocked? I hate to say it. Nowadays, with all these school shootings, nothing's shocking anymore. And that's horrible.
It is horrible. It's maybe the most horrible part of all of this.
Now, in the interview, Amanda, what is most interesting to me is I think the biggest truth out of that is the last 3 seconds. There's nothing shocking anymore. And do you agree with me? When you hear him say that, there's just nothing shocking anymore. We have simulated everything in this alternative world of these computers, with whether it be social media, video games, or whatever. There's no sensitivity whatsoever.
Yeah, our youth has become desensitized to violence, and there's probably a big factor, obviously with his home life and if he takes any medications. But I mean, these kids are starting to learn that they don't get their way, or their life doesn't go as planned, and they act out violently.
So all right. So you're saying if it doesn't go as planned, they just act out violently. We have raised a generation that it should go as planned.
Yes, I actually was surprised yesterday to hear that he did not end his life.
Yeah, that was interesting. Also, let me ask you this, because I will come back to this. We do have some other stories we need to do this morning. Just where do you stand on gun control? Where are you at? And are you concerned that this is already turning into the government needing to do something for us to keep us safe?
So in Florida, it's the same as Georgia. To be a gun owner, you have to be 18 years of age. You have to be 21 to purchase ammunition and a handgun. This kid was 19. It's he's officially an adult, but where is he getting an AR-15? Is that the gun that was used?
Yeah.
That, that's completely out of our government's control, where this kid gets his gun. And as a gun owner, I don't think that, my Second Amendment rights should be violated because some kid goes postal.
So what about when they say 95%? Because see, I don't think they frame the question properly. I think you know all too well, and I think you know out there, audience, that when they ask questions, they do not frame them properly. They frame them in a way that maybe even I would agree when they ask the question. You follow what I'm saying? So when they come out and they say 95% polled want stronger background checks, what say you?
It doesn't even, that could work. It can. But I'm going to tell you right now, most majority, especially here in the South, your guns, are passed down from your dad or your grandpa, and it's inevitable. Any incident like this is going to be inevitable. If there's a will, there's a way, and they will find a gun if they want to inflict harm. So
you're invoking criminals don't wait for a background check to get a gun to follow through with something they want to do, as heinous as this is.
I think that background checks, you already have to have your background checked. You can't just run in and into the store and buy a gun. It's a process that's already in place.
Does it scare you that the conversation is always around mental illness, and that our government is trying to do everything to determine our mental stability? I'm serious as can be. Does that ever concern you, that everything that comes out is well, we need to check the mental stability of these people? Who's checking the mental stability of an MS-13 gang member that is killing somebody today with a gun? Who is checking the mental stability of these gang members in Chicago, as many murders are in Chicago? You know what I mean?
And it's just how impossible to sit and recommend that every single gun owner needs a psychological evaluation when most of these people. I look at the Vegas shooter. He was a real estate investor, just an all-out good guy on the surface that people thought would never do something like this. It doesn't. The circumstances don't matter to the majority of the population.
I agree wholeheartedly, folks. I'm very concerned about, obviously, we're probably taking the conversation a little different. I for one, feel desensitized, and we have raised a generation that if they do not get or things don't work out for them, then they always have social media to lash out. The other thing to me that scares me, and I know I'm out there. I just know I am. But we talk about FISA court warrants, okay? We have a corrupt. Now you're going to say, well, BKP, how did you frame up 17 kids dead in Florida? This football coach, I guess if he died, he's now 18, I guess number 18. How do you frame up this kid that just lost it at 19 years old, that was expelled? A difference from being, I'm not making a joke or anything, there's a difference of being suspended from school and expelled, because I had the principal explain that to me one time, okay? You got a kid that's expelled, can't come back to school, and he loses it, and he goes into the school and he kills 17. But what concerns me is we have an FBI that is so at the top level. We have a Department of Justice, an FBI, a President of the United States, a current criminal, former candidate for president. The list goes on, okay, that went to get a FISA court warrant to wiretap a private citizen. But you don't think something like this is not going to give them what they feel the green light? I mean, let me ask you a minute. We already talk about it. I mean, I watch TV. What's that thing? Google Home. You know, people think it's innocent, right? Hey, play me a song. Hey, order me some bathroom tissue. I forgot. And that might be silly, but, you know, they record everything we do. I hear the TVs. There's TVs. I may be losing my mind, but, Amanda, are we up to the point where I've heard TVs could be watching us and recording us? And now we have all of our social media. There's nothing private. And here's the thing that interests me is most people go on there and they think that they have a Snapchat account. They have an Instagram account. They have a Facebook account. You do not. These corporations have allowed you space on their business. Facebook could decide tomorrow that all of your information, they can give it up and you can't yell. Snapchat can give up everything. You can't yell. Do you understand what I'm saying, Amanda?
I do.
So I'm concerned on digging into our privacy. Christianity is a mental illness. I'm just telling you. And, you know, I know this kid, supposedly this kid's adopted mother died last year. Kid may, you know, has some trouble. A lot of trouble. But I'm telling you, there will never be, I'm going to close this with what will happen, and let me kind of close where I start, is we rush to hear all the press conferences, okay? We rush to hear, this sounds insensitive, we rush to hear all the press conferences, we rush to hear what the sheriff has found out, what the coroner has found out, we rush to hear what the entry points of the school, we rush to hear who heard the guy come in the door first, okay? What was the timeline? Did the FBI blow it? Who was researching? How many people reported? We're going to go through everything. And then the government is going to send funding, okay? The government is going to send funding, and I'm not making fun of it. We'll have grief counselors, okay? There'll be grief counselors in that area, and the government's going to send funding there to help research and study to try to see how we can prevent this. But we're not preventing it, folks. And I'm not making this a simple subject other than I'm telling you the breakdown of traditional family and the moral corruption in this country. It's gone. It's gone in so many levels. It desensitized the kids. What did you say, Amanda? Where they're totally. What did you say earlier about them being desensitized?
They're overexposed.
Overexposed. So, and hey, I don't know what we do, but I sure as heck know the government doesn't need to get involved. I have one message before we go to break. Okay, I have one message on the gun control that I do want to get to. We don't need more gun control. We need more parental control. That's twice I got that, Amanda. Here's an email we got. We don't need more gun control. We need more parental control. We need proper education. We need to learn to listen to our children and be a part of their lives. That's step one. I'm going to say something, Amanda. I don't know now. I don't want you to answer something you don't want to. So just don't feel you have to. But I know I'm the old guy in the room. But when I was a kid, my parents lent me a bedroom. It wasn't my bedroom. I mean, you would say, go to your room, whatever. But realistically, they lent me this room to stay in, okay? And at any given time, my mom and dad did not require a search warrant. They did not have to go downtown and go to Child Protective Services and say, hey, I want to search this kid's room. My mom could just come in and start opening all the dresser drawers. Not saying there was anything that was ever found. Do you understand what I'm saying, Amanda?
I do.
And when my kids were growing up, I let them know very clearly. I'll tell you what, when we were kids, oh damn, I knew this would happen. We were kids, we weren't even allowed to shut the bedroom door. Right?
We're still the same in my household. We do not shut doors. I don't even have our knobs. I specifically bought knobs that do not have locks.
Whoa, I think I like this lady. Hold on, let me back up here. So at your house, you make sure the bedroom doors don't have locks, right?
They do not have locks on them.
Okay, and the kids know point blank, do not shut that bedroom door?
That's right.
There you go. That's it, folks. That's right. When I was a kid, my parents lent me the room that I occupied until they told my ass to get out. And at any time, they did not need a search warrant, okay? And I'm going to go one more when I was a kid. Just one more, I promise. I won't bore all of you. But, when you got sent to your room as a kid, because, I'm 70-something, right? So when you got sent to your room as a kid, somewhere around 1970-something, that was punishment. Because you didn't have nothing but the ceiling to stare at. And you had an AM radio. If you got caught turning on your AM radio, that was big trouble. That was punishment. Getting sent to your room. Kids today, they get sent to their room. They're at they're in an extended stay. They feel like they got a fridge in the corner, got a computer, TV, remote, stereo, phone. Sure. All right, enough's enough. When I come back, folks, I'm going to talk about some local stuff. I did say at 9 o'clock, but I'm going to talk about some local things, and it'll probably be about 9:15. But I'm asking you to stick around this morning because I want to share something personal, because I want you to be involved. And I'm going to tell you how to get involved, and it's personal to me, but it is something I'd like to see if the audience will get involved in, and what you think I want to share with you. Oh, you know what's this weekend, Amanda? Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice is this weekend. I'm telling you right now. Did you? I know I sent the pictures yesterday, and I know you probably don't have those.
I've got them.
You got them?
I'm prepared. Chili.
Chili, baby. You got the chili? Okay, Fire and Ice is this weekend. Rain or shine, folks. Rain or shine. All right. We have judges. Will the chili? There might be 20 contestants. The chili judges will be Georgia House Speaker David Ralston, and then the fifth judge here of the annual Kay Kendall will be one of the judges. We also have a national culinary background with Bob Evans will be one of the judges. We have the third judge will be Mr. Doug David will be one of the judges for the chili cook-off. Allison B. Sosby, the district attorney, will be one of the judges. Now, that's chili, folks. I'm telling you, you go up there and you need a People's Choice Award. So you're going to get a card. It's going to have all the numbers, and you're going to write the ones in that you think are the best, okay? Obviously, I won the People's Choice Award, FetcherNews.com, 2 years ago in my own mind. They didn't give it to me. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but we did win. Put up the ice sculpture. I can't see it. Is that it? Put up the one that has the people with the pictures, the family, if you have that one. But it's called Fire and Ice because there's something like 30, 40 ice sculptures, very professionally done, all over Blue Ridge. This is one last year that said Blue Ridge on it and had the little areas where the family could take the photo all over, and they will have an artist there that will be, running the chainsaw and chiseling and making these beautiful ice sculptures right there. You can watch it being done. Eat hot chili. This is a rain or shine event in Blue Ridge this weekend starting at noon. Okay, Fire and Ice. Take us to break. We'll come back and do a little local news, talk about a possible tax increase for infrastructure, and then I want to share something, like I said, I hope you'll stay around for something very personal this morning. Take us to break, Amanda.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
All-new Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
Folks, I'm your host, BKP, a couple brief notes on the discussion this morning with the Florida shooter going into a school there. Obviously, the government will look at it all day. These liberal left, very liberal left senators, an Instagram account, we know this. Nicholas Cruz was reported to the FBI as potential school shooter in September. A potential school shooter in September, he was reported, okay? And there's a lot of background details emerge. Now, be careful, because here's the thing. You know me, and Amanda, you know me long enough. I like to zero in on certain words that I watch, that I know the talking points that they try to sell. And new background details emerge about Florida school shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz. What they are going to say is, why do we have these new background details emerge after a disaster like this, after someone murders 17 people? With the proper background checks, instead of them emerging the background, we can find out in the front. And that's what they'll try to sell. Do you understand what I'm saying? Liberal Senator Chris Murphy on Senate floor, epic of mass slaughter. The mass slaughter was caused by inaction of Congress. So, did you have anything else before we move away from this that you wanted to comment? I mean, I know we need to move it away. It's only a 2-hour show, but do you have anything else you want to go with before this? Anything else you found or you want to bring up?
I do. You know, the media will sit and portray this kid, and you know, I didn't know about he was on the FBI watch list, but I did notice that a lot of his social media account and Instagram and Snapchat pictures that people had screenshot, these guns are airsoft guns. They've got the protective orange cap on the top.
I don't know. I know what they will yell on gun control. I don't think I should say my feelings on who should be allowed to have guns this morning. I'll save it for another day, because although I have strong beliefs and I strongly believe in the Second Amendment, and they will go to the floor and start trying to explain to us. I'm back on the juice. I got spark. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 spark here, and I'm back on the juice, folks. So anyhow, they will go to the floor and they will take our Constitution and they will dice it up and tell you don't need an AR-15. So, all right, let's move on from that. Infrastructure bill. Trump backs 25-cent a gallon gas tax, okay? This is from Reuters. U.S. President Donald Trump endorsed hiking the federal gasoline tax by 25 cents a gallon in a meeting with lawmakers on Wednesday about funding his infrastructure spending proposal, a Democrat lawmaker said. Senator Tom Casper, who attended the meeting, confirmed a report by online publication Axios that Republican president has backed the increase. The 18.4 cent a gallon on gasoline has not been hiked since 1993. The federal diesel tax is 24.4. You pay 18.4 cents a gallon and 24.4 on diesel, all right? Would you pay another 25 cents a gallon for gasoline on top of the taxes now to fund the infrastructure bill? I don't think it's a matter of whether you would pay it or not. I don't even think we have to get there, would you pay it or not, okay? It's like a charity. I wish I would never said that, okay? But it's like a charity. And you know how if you want to give for a cause, you want to validate the charity, okay? You know, it's like if you want to lock in uranium deposits in the United States, you contribute to the Clinton Foundation, that charity, right? That's what you do, all right? And it's not a joking matter, but seriously, it's like a charity. When you give, you know, you want to. You remember like when the charity of like when Bill Clinton and Bush sit there together and they beg for money for Haiti, and then, you know, the Clintons basically stole the money through giving it to their friends, which gave them the kickbacks, you know, all these kind of things. So the 25 cent a gallon, we don't even get to that because it's like a charity for the 12th time that if you're going to give $1, you like to do research. And you say, okay, this charity has 5% administrative. They have to have administrative, but 95% of the dollar actually goes to the cause, right? I'm serious. That's where I'm going. So I don't even think we get to the conversation on whether you would pay the 25 cent extra. I don't think the American people are prepared to believe that anything they do over and above today will go to the cause. Did I get that right, Amanda? I mean, did that sound okay? Am I so far out there?
I don't think so.
But if you give the 25 cent, you want to know that 25 cents goes to building the highway.
Absolutely.
Not to the union friends. Not filtered down through the state. And then the state has a couple friends, and they got a couple friends. You know, you don't want to give 25 cents to the friends of Bill. Just saying. Friends of Bill. So I don't know about that one. We will see. Immigration is on the books. Immigration is on the books. What say you? I've asked you this question this morning. What do you think about DACA? Okay. What do you think about DACA? And do you think that these kids should have a pathway to citizenship. 10 or 12 years it takes, no right to vote, chain migration, border wall security. What do you think? Now, white kid walks in school. All right? No, I know, I'm in trouble. White kid walks in school, has mental issues, kills 17 people. Okay. Illegal, crosses the border, gets deported twice, drunk, kills 2 people. Now, I'm trying to figure out the difference in 17 and 2. I know exactly, because you see, if you think the evil, wicked Democrats will go to the floor and discuss gun control in any way whatsoever, they are, let me say, damn it, Democrats are building their, tell me how bad this sounds, Amanda, but I'm going to say it anyway. Okay? There is a list. I do nothing. I get involved in campaigns daily. I study politics like you would not believe. I know I've got a damn problem, but I study it. And the Democrats have been working the women issue, the Me Too, and just recently domestic violence and rape and accusations. And I mean, the Democrats have their whiteboard out. You know, it's like game time. It's game time. They got their whiteboard out and they've got all these lists of their campaign issues. And as bad as this is, you have evil, sick, SOB Democrats that cheered yesterday. I know, that was terrible. They absolutely inside smiled and wrote this issue on the whiteboard. Just saying, you can hate me for all it's worth. Oh my God, we got a white kid in a school. That's what we needed. You see, Amanda, I apologize. This wasn't supposed to happen. But you see, if you want infrastructure spending, right, you always have a school bus load of children going over a bridge that's going to collapse. Everybody knows that. That's the biggest campaign seller there is. We need to figure. The first thing they do every time is they put out the list of bridges. And they say, would you want your 30-some kids on a school bus going over that bridge and it collapse? And you say, no, God, no, how can I give? Give me an 800 number. I will send money to do anything to stop that bus from falling into the water when the bridge collapses. Please, take my money, government. Can I give you more? So when that school and that white kid that's deranged, that will probably get linked to something white supremacist, alrighty? Anything, I'm serious. When he did, there was a Democrat that ran over to the board and wrote it down. School shooting. Man, just in time for the primaries. Just in time for 2018. I know what you're saying out there. You're upset with me, but damn it, if you think for 1 minute on the floor that one of these damn Democrats care 1 ounce about you, care 1 ounce about these families in Florida, care 1 ounce about any of this with any compassion whatsoever, you've lost your damn mind. Because first, I didn't intend to do that. I got to back that out. I don't even know how that happened. But I know what they're doing, and I know what they're planning on doing, and it's a campaign issue, and they said yesterday, oh, God, look, we can add this, because white kid, one more time, you see, a white kid walks in school, shoots 17 other kids, okay, and we're going to have research and studies, and it has all of the Democrat campaign talking points. But now wait a minute. An illegal crosses the border. We need southern border control. An illegal, what is the difference in 17 and 2? 17 dead, 2 dead. I mean, is there a number that we get to? Like 4, 5, and 6 where it's rated different? What the hell? It's rated different at 17 and 2? But you see, for Democrats, border security and the need for border security and the need to stop people that are deported. Look at the guy out there, Kate Steinle, that killed Kate Steinle. He was found not guilty. Deported. So this guy gets deported twice. He's here illegally. He's wanted by ICE. He's drunk. He has no driver's license. And he kills 2 black men. African American, for those of you out there that are upset. 2 black men. You see, nothing in that frames up into Democrat talking points. Nothing in that frames up into campaign speeches. Nothing in that frames up for them. So they don't give an SH. They don't. That man that died, Jackson, and the Uber driver, Mahoney or whatever his name is, on the side of the road one night. 2 black men, an NFL football player. It doesn't frame up. But 17 kids. White boy walks in. Take a break. I got to get away from that. That was probably uncalled for. I don't even know what I really said. It's probably because I'm on the juice. Let's take a break and come back. We'll do a little local news. And then I want to do my personal tribute to my first cousin. I'm going to tell you what it is, because I would like to ask you, the audience, to listen to my tribute to my first cousin. And after I listen to my tribute, I'm going to ask you to get involved. I'm serious. I want you to be a part of this with me, and it's very personal. I'm going to share it with you. Take us to break, Amanda.
Ah, yeah. It might be cold outside, but there's no one cooler than you. You're the man with a plan, doing your thing like only you can. You're cooking up more than just a delicious dinner for 2. You're preparing that delectable dish spelled L-O-V-E. Heat things up this Valentine's Day at Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
I've had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something. This could be love, because I've had the time of my life. I've never felt like this before, 'cause I've had the time of my
The Tupelo Tea Mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
It's just this simple. Nobody beats Days on price. If it's a Chevy, you'll pay less at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save $4,000 off a new 2018 Chevy Malibu, or save up to $10,000 off a new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab. It doesn't matter which Chevy you choose. Nobody beats Days on price. $10,000 off Silverados and $4,000 off Malibus at Days Chevy in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. And if you follow our Facebook page, you will see that an East LJ police officer, was arrested yesterday approximately noon by the GBI, and that East LJ police officer that was arrested is Michael Gene McClure. Okay, and put Mike's picture up there. Michael Gene McClure was arrested yesterday by the GBI. Supposedly, this officer, if you go to fetchernews.com, and go to Gilmer County, you will see East LJ police officer arrested. According to the booking sheet, we have the booking report and the warrant. According to the warrant, allegedly, Officer McClure arrested a lady and took a $150 money order out of her purse, okay? And the money order had a serial number on it, and it belonged to when he pulled over and arrested Donna Adams. After arresting Adams with the intent to deprive Adams of said money order, said property having been taken by him as an employee of the government, East LJ Police Department. McClure took the money order from Adams' purse, which he had in his possession from December 31st to January 3rd. McClure then cashed the money order at BB&T Bank in East LJ on January 10th. Okay. Now, according to my understanding, is the serial number that Miss Adams was able to, Donna Adams was able to produce a receipt with the money order serial number. Sources tell me then BB&T video show Mr. McClure cashing that money order with the same receipt that Miss Adams was able to produce for investigators. So GBI arrested him yesterday around noon on 2 counts. First count was violation of oath of public officer. Second, theft by taking. We reached out to East Ellijay Police Chief Larry Callahan, which he released the following statement. He released the following statement. Hold on just a second. I thought I had it up here. Let's see if it comes up here in just a second. This is from Chief Larry Callahan at East Ellijay. On February 14th, 2018, Sergeant Michael G. McClure of East Ellijay Police Department was arrested by agents of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. McClure was charged with theft by taking and violation of oath of office. Both charges are felonies under Georgia law. And actually, because of him being a law enforcement, Sergeant McClure has been placed on administrative leave by the East Ellijay Police Department. East Ellijay Police Chief of Police Larry Callahan stated, "We are extremely disturbed by the charges brought against Sergeant McClure. We have confidence in the investigation and judicial process and are cooperating fully with the investigation." So that happened yesterday. We had that up last night, and we will put that statement there with it. Let's go with let's take that down. Let's go, folks, with a feel-good story. Now, I brought Sam in from an undisclosed location. Now, folks, for you out there, you do know Sam. Now, Amanda's in here now, and things are going well, and, you know, we can't find Sam anymore. She's got her cubby hole back there, and she comes in, hides in her cubby hole, and we have to go hunt her down. So we have located her from the depths of the long hallways here at the corporate office of FYN, straight from the 4th floor. Sam is with us. We have a really great story yesterday, Valentine's Day story. Sam, put the picture up and tell us. You went down to the school. You and Lonnie went down to the school. Tell us about this story.
Okay, so we got the privilege yesterday of interviewing this little boy. His name is Aiden Fillion. He heard about the 7th grade teacher, Miss Waters, doing a fundraiser to sell carnations to all the kids, make it available for all the kids to buy Valentines for their friends. And he said that in the interview he came up with the idea last year because he watched the kids give out candygrams, which is what they did in not the middle school but the other school, and he watched the girls that didn't get any candygrams and how they were sad, and some of the girls were crying that they didn't get any, especially the girls that were new to the school and didn't have a lot of friends. So he already had it in his mind for about a year that he wanted to do something for them. When he found out that they were going to sell carnations, he went home that day and told his mom that he wanted to come up with enough money to buy a carnation for every girl in the school so that everyone felt special. So his mom and dad sat around and tried to think about ways that they could come up with the money. At first, Aiden wanted to do a lemonade stand, but they were concerned that that wouldn't raise enough money and that kind of stuff. So his mom, who is pictured in this picture, her name is Jessica, she decided to create a GoFundMe account. And they started it around October, November of last year. And they thought that, you know, people would donate $5 or $10 along the way and that it would take them some time to get to their goal. They raised $300 within 4 days, 3 to 4 days of starting this GoFundMe. They came up with enough money to pay for one of the flowers for every girl in the school because there's 223 girls in the middle school. So
if they missed a candygram last year, this young man made sure they had their carnation this year.
And he was so excited because when we got there, he got to help give out the flowers yesterday. And this is the first one that he gave out. He got to pick where we delivered it to, and he delivered it to his girlfriend, Harley.
I was getting ready to ask that.
Yes.
So you got to see him actually give one to the girl.
Yes, he gave out one to all of the office administration because they ended up with extra carnations. So, and they had extra money from this fundraiser. So they ended up giving one to, he handed them out to all the office staff as well as the principal and assistant principal. And then he got to pick which classroom he went to first. And of course he picked his girlfriend's classroom. So, but what he didn't know, and what the teacher, Miss Waters, told him yesterday was not only did he help make every girl feel special, but this fundraiser was actually a fundraiser to help pay for the 7th grade field trip this year. So there were 20 some odd students on a scholarship fund list waiting for people to help pay for them to get to go on this field trip. And because of his fundraising and him buying enough carnations to pay for them all, he helped all 20 students get to go to their field trip, which is they're going to Atlanta for an overnight stay.
Okay, wait just a minute. So the selling of the carnations was a fundraiser.
Yes.
He got concerned last year about some young ladies that were sad that they didn't get a candygram, and so he wanted to make sure they felt every girl in the school. So he raised the money to buy the carnations. That's a fundraiser.
Yes.
So this guy's got like 4 win-wins, right? So
absolutely. And when we interviewed
what
him
school
yesterday,
is this?
He absolutely had a heart of gold. He just kept talking about how he wanted to make everyone feel special, and he didn't like for anyone to feel left out, and that he would give them, do anything he could to make everyone feel like they were important and they were special.
And what school is this again?
Pickens County Middle School, PCMS.
Pickens County Middle School, and his name one more time?
Aiden Fillion.
So what grade?
He is in 6th grade.
Well, listen, I know you have a girlfriend, and I understand, okay? I understand you got a girlfriend, and I think it's great. And you did the right thing giving her the first carnation, okay? But I don't think you're going to have a problem getting a date for the 6th grade dance. I'm just telling you. Just saying. Way to go. Great story. Love that. Needed that feel-good story this morning. Thank you, Sam. You and Lonnie went down there, right?
Yes.
Yes. If you know of a good story in North Georgia, that's Pickens County Middle School. They sent us a message, told us about that story. Sam and Lonnie went down, interviewed this young man, the mom, and several in the school. If you know of a story in North Georgia, any of the 10 counties we cover, let us know, and we may be able to highlight your story, your good story in your neighborhood, because that's what we do. We are a part of the community. I'm your host, BKP. When we come back, okay, do me a favor, stay with us. I'm going to go personal, but I'm asking our audience, whether there's 50 watching, 5,000 watching, 2,500, I'm asking our audience to stay with me on this story and maybe get involved, okay? And it's going to be personal, so just stay with me. Take us to break, Amanda.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
Folks, I told you I wanted to do this segment, and I wanted to do it at the end of the show, and we're clipping this, making a special recording. And I tell you, it's got to be personal, and I want you to stay with me on it. And you know, yesterday is just that. It's yesterday. Yesterday is just that. It's yesterday. Tomorrow belongs to the unknown. It just does. It belongs to the unknown. And it seems like it was just yesterday that I was with a couple of my first cousins, put up that number 1. Can you enlarge that, or is that stretch it out too much? But it seems like it was just yesterday I was, and that's not the best picture. I just took a good picture and scanned it. And, you know, we might have been called the Allen Gang, although a couple of those guys are, I'm Pritchard, and 2 of them are Murdochs, and 1 of them is an Allen, but on our mother's side, that could be known as the Allen Gang right there, or some of us. On the picture closest to me, that's seems like it was just yesterday, my cousin Buddy Murdoch, right there. Right next to him is his brother, Billy Murdoch, and they're the only one with no shorts. That's me, and I don't know if you recognize it, me there. I have no gray hair, right? And I have no gray hair, and then to the far end, the opposite end, is Danny, my cousin Danny. That's four of us. We're first cousins, four first cousins. And the one closest to me, Buddy Murdoch, yesterday on Valentine's Day, 59 years old, cancer took his life. And cancer took Buddy's life at 59 years old yesterday, and that seems like that was just yesterday that we were all together. Now, on a personal note, you know, I don't know if I've shared this. On my mom's side of the family, it was a family of 14 kids. 7 boys and 7 girls. I'm serious, 14. Now, the boys on my mom's side of the family, a couple of them, you know, a couple rough uncles, okay? And the girls, they weren't completely innocent. But when you have 14 kids, you have so many cousins. I could do story after story. But these are my first cousins here. Buddy, his life was taken yesterday again by cancer. And I want to talk about something with this fella here, because this guy was just, I don't have the words to describe. But back in the golden age, let me see where I'm going, in the golden age, and I want to share something with you of trucking, the trucking business, the golden age of trucking business, before major corporations took over, okay? And this guy on the far left there, back, I'm going to say, let's call it 1982, just for argument's sake. You remember in your newspaper on Sunday morning, you had this thing called Parade Magazine, coast to coast. You got your Sunday newspaper and there was a Parade Magazine in there. You remember the golden age of the Sunday paper where the whole family fought over the circulars? You remember the living room floor where the Sunday paper came in and it was this thick? You went and got the Sunday paper and it was this thick. And half of that was the Parade Magazine, Montgomery Ward's, Kmart, Sears. It didn't matter. That's what it was, right? Remember that? And it would be all over and everybody be looking at what's on sale this week. The golden age. And you know, that was back when most of the trucking was done through brokers. Well, Buddy worked for a company which family-owned company, but he worked for a company called Printco. Printco had the national contract for Kmart. Printco had the national contract for Parade Magazine. He had the regional contract for, remember, Montgomery Ward's? So I went to drive for him at 18 years old. I was 18 years old. I went for about 4 months and I drove truck for Buddy. I drove truck for Buddy about 4 months. And this guy, we're in Jessup, Maryland. It's called Trucker's World, okay? And if you got a Parade Magazine on Sunday morning, this guy made sure it got there. If you got a Kmart circular on Sunday morning and you knew in the golden age when you're picking up the paper now or going on the internet and Kmart's closing, in the golden age, 1982, Kmart, this guy got it there. You knew what would be on sale this week at Kmart because he got it there. And what they would do is they would have these rooms in these big truck stops. And in Jessup, Maryland, just south of Baltimore, and here I am 18 years old, and I decided I'm going to go to Baltimore, Maryland and drive truck, okay? I'm going to drive truck all over Long Island. I'm going to drive a truck to Long Island, through New York City. I'm going to drive a truck to Albany, New York. I'm going to drive a truck to Watertown, New York. I'm going to drive a truck wherever Buddy, the guy on the far left, closest to me, tells me where to drive it. 18 years old. But see, they would have these dispatch rooms, and truck drivers would come there and they'd post loads. And he would negotiate with these truck drivers how much a mile. And this guy, back in the golden age of getting the loads out, the old phones, which generationally, you know, you had the 4 white buttons and a red button. What was the red button? To put line 1 on hold. Go to line 2. To put line 2 on hold. And this guy on the far left, he could sit there in a room this big and dispatch 50 trucks. And he had the shoulder holders, the phone, old receivers going way back. And I wanted to tell this story because he had the things that would rest on your shoulder, and he could put 2 phones right here and answer a third one. And he could go, print code, hold on a minute, print code, hold on. And he would be pushing loads from Baltimore, Fort Royal, Virginia there. He would be pushing loads all over the United States to make sure they got out. I was staying with Buddy and Gina. Put up Buddy number 9, if you can go to number 9. I was staying with Buddy and Gina. I'm just a kid, 18 years old. Now, this is his wedding picture. He's 50. Yesterday, he died on Valentine's Day, 59 years old. And I don't know how many years he's been married, but he married Gina at 20-some years old, and that has been the love of his life his whole life until yesterday, and always will be eternally. You know, we believe he went home to be with the Lord, okay? And so, Buddy, I was living so he lived in Silver Springs, Maryland. I'm 18 years old. So I used to go home with him. When I didn't have loads to run, like I would run loads for 4 straight days. I have something for 2 days. I'd go home, you know, to Buddy. Gina's expecting their first child, Brett. And I'll never forget. And it's like, you're a dumb 18-year-old kid. You don't know why the guy can't go party. I'm just serious at that time. You don't know why. So, you know, I remember when they brought their first kid home from the hospital. And this guy, just to me, was amazing when I watched him dispatch them trucks and how he could make things happen. You know, he loved to fish. Put up his wife there, Buddy number 4. This is Buddy. I put his wedding picture up. This is Buddy and his wife, Gina. Okay. Loved to duck hunt. Put up number 5. Loved to duck hunt. This is Brett. You see, yesterday is yesterday. This is Brett. There's Buddy, and this is his son, Brett. And I remember the day that he brought Brett home from the hospital. Put the number 6 up of Buddy out there and duck hunting again, okay? Number 7, doing a puzzle with his granddaughter. It didn't matter. Number 8, fishing. Buddy loved to fish. Number 2, with his kids. Number 3, just days ago. And this is just days ago. You know, I showed you his wedding picture. I showed you the picture a couple years ago of Gina and Buddy. I showed you a picture with him and his 3 kids. And I think life really started when he met Gina and got married. And if you look 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, or a week ago, this picture here, on Valentine's Day, he left this world. As the reason I'm telling you this personal story about my first cousin, because the guy encompassed everything. Accepting his children for who they are, accepting what life brought his way, going through a lot of changes in life that I don't have time to tell you that Buddy struggled through. Buddy left Jessup, Maryland with Princo. He went out to Memphis, Tennessee, to the main office, and they created a big office, and don't have time to go into that. And some things went well for a couple years, and then, you know, things didn't go well one time. And I'll never forget, went up to Nashville several years ago, and to have lunch, and we met up there, and we were walking through a mall in Nashville. We were talking, and we went in a bookstore, and I don't know if you know the Bishop, T.D. Jakes. And I'll never forget, Buddy picked up T.D. Jakes' book and was looking at it, and asking his wife Gina what she thought of the book. And I looked over and I said, I read that book. I have the book on my bookshelf. I read that book T.D. Jakes wrote. And he said, well, what is it about? And I said, well, T.D. Jakes just says, get off your ass and go to work, basically. That's just an internal fond moment that I remember with Buddy of many. But where I want to bring this, okay, where I want to bring this is these t-shirts that say, who's your buddy? And what happened is he went through, and I'm going to let him tell you his story, because you're gonna meet him, and he's going to tell you his story. And financially, it got to where they couldn't even pay their bills. I mean, they couldn't pay their bills financially. And Who's Your Buddy is an organization, and that's Buddy Murdoch. That's his name, Buddy Murdoch. And they come up with Who's Your Buddy? And it's an organization, it's a fundraiser. At this time, I'd like to let him tell you about this challenge that took his life, this cancer. And then when we come back, I'm going to talk a little more about this organization here and how maybe you can help and tell your friends about it. So please stay with me through this little video. My first cousin, Buddy Murdoch. Do you have that? Go. Do you have that video?
Past summer was probably the most amazing summer that we've had in a long time. We did family vacations. We just had a blast. But the whole time I had just like a little tick in my throat that when I swallow it would be like, I might be getting a sore throat. I told Gina several times, I think I might be getting a sore throat or ear infection. So I made an appointment with the ENT. They checked my throat, they checked my ears, everything was clear. So they thought Allergies. I said, okay, that happens to me. I can understand that. So they treated me for allergies for 6 weeks, and I got worse. They gave me steroids and antibiotics, and I took those for 9 days and felt better. And then it just roared back with a vengeance. My throat felt like it was closing up and scratchy. It was a Friday, and I answered the phone, and immediately I said, yeah, Dr. Coleman, buddy. He said, hey, buddy, I don't know any other way to tell you this, but you have cancer. I said, okay. And my nephew was hearing this conversation too. And I guess his face was just as freaked out as mine. And it was fine though, because it was highly treatable. It was highly treatable.
Yeah.
We're gonna do 6 weeks of radiation and chemo once a week, 75% success rate. It'll be done and gone. It's gone from highly treatable to incurable. God's given me a lot of wake-up calls in my life, and this is the first time he's kind of put an expiration date on it.
Satan a lot of days will want to trick me and want to say, well, this is your last birthday or your last Valentine. I don't let him. For a moment, it'll draw me there, and I go, nope, I'm not going there, because it's not over. I'm not fearing what's ahead.
No.
And I believe that God gives us grace to withstand whatever we have to walk through.
I have the feeling leaving Gina alone. That's the scariest thing. I'm not concerned with death. I know God. I know Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And I know that my life is not going to end with this cancer diagnosis. I know that when I leave, when my body dies, that I'll be with Christ. I'm not worried about that. What concerns me more than anything is see people smile, see people happy, see people peaceful. And there's only one way that that's going to happen, is a relationship with the Lord. He's our hope right now. And out of this whole thing, out of all this mess, no matter what happens, I just pray that others find Christ as their hope too.
Last Valentine. You know, I know, buddy, so when he said all the other challenges that the Lord put in front of him, this one came with an expiration date. But he said he wasn't afraid to die, and I believe that. And, you know, put picture number 1 up. You see that guy's talking in the video. Yesterday is just that. It's yesterday. Tomorrow belongs to the unknown. Far left is far. The closest to me is Buddy Murdoch, the guy you just heard the testimonial. Next to him is his brother Billy Murdoch, and I'll never forget this picnic we were having that day. And next to him, that's me. And on the far end is Danny, and so at the last stages there, they were not able to pay any of their day-to-day bills. They couldn't pay them. I mean, Buddy wasn't a rich man on earth. He wasn't a rich man on earth. Good kids, good family. Just didn't have the money. I mean, you have cancer treatments cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and they didn't have the money. And his name's Buddy Murdoch. So his son came up with something as a fundraiser, and I'm asking you from my heart to stay with this 3-minute video, okay? Stay with this 3-minute video, and then I'll have a closing statement. I appreciate you so much, but please stay with this next video. Amanda, you have it ready? Let's go with this next video.
Murdoch, founder of Who's Your Buddy. After a year of my dad fighting terminal cancer, the fight began to take toll on my parents. I didn't know what I was going to do to help, but I knew I had to do something. Because of the amount of bills piling up and seeing my mother sitting there countless hours talking to creditors and talking to medical physicians, setting up minimum payments. The constant phone calls that kept coming in, even after the insurance paid their part. The reason I started Who's Your Buddy was because no family deserves this stress. I decided I was going to sell t-shirts so that maybe I can relieve the thorn in my parents' side of all these bills piling up. But how was I going to do this? I wanted it to be online based, so for the most part it would run on its own. I don't know how to build a website. I had no clue where to start. So I decided to grab a couple friends and family, and I formed a little small group that had the same passion that I had. After the small success that we've had, which has been friends and family and maybe a little beyond, I realized Who's Your Buddy was going to be something bigger and greater than we even imagined. According to the CDC, 12.7 million people find out each year that they have cancer. That's 12.7 million. That's over 30,000 people a day find out that they have cancer. We have been in full swing for about a month now, and we are so grateful for everyone that has donated, has bought a t-shirt, and even shared links on social media. Although there's been a few bumps along the way, we are not stopping to grow this fundraiser into something that may impact the world. What is that direction that you ask? We are over halfway to our first goal, which means we are starting to plan to bring on new buddies. We've had a lot of great feedback. We've had multiple questions that we'd like to answer. What if I have a buddy? We support all buddies. At this point, we are early in growth, and we are not equipped right now to take on new buddies at this moment. We would love this to become a platform to raise more money for many buddies down the road. Are you just selling shirts? Can I just donate? You may buy a shirt if you like. I wanted to give something back for your donation. And who doesn't like a soft, comfy t-shirt? There is also a place on the website where you can just donate. Did you create this? Following in my dad's footsteps with a selfless love for people, I just can't stop with taking care of my family's needs. It's time to add more buddies. We're planning on adding new buddies by the end of 2018. Maybe even your buddy. While there are many honorable charities, Who's Your Buddy was created to help people fight cancer. So, who's your buddy? Your buddy. Your buddy.
That is a Brett Murdoch, and it's always something when you watch somebody. That's Buddy Murdoch's son. It's always something when you watch somebody. And I remember the day they brought him home and put him in the crib, this guy here. And on that day, you don't know that one day he's going to stand and ask you for help. But Who's Your Buddy is an organization that they planned, and you can trust these people. These are good people. Buddy Murdoch, this is a good organization, and their goal is to help relieve the stress of people going through financial worry during these cancer treatments and what they go through. And it's who'syourbuddy.org. I'm your host, BKP. It's Thursday. We'll be at Circuit World tomorrow at 8 a.m. I thank you very much. And I love you, Buddy Murdoch, and I'm going to miss you. Let's go. Out.